Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Resident Evil 2 Remake commentary on BrainScratch Commentaries. We're swimming in poo juice, by the way.
I love
Yeah,
pooches.
it's
Poo gas.
yeah. We oh yeah, and there's one of the Mr. Raccoons that I missed. How about that?
Well, you have it now.
Because they carry over between scenarios, right? Is that what you mentioned?
And that's why I was going back to Leon there, because I realized between recordings that I had missed a Mr. Raccoon, so I backtracked a save file and got that. And now that I've gotten it, let's do the whole goddamn sewer thing again, except let's not suck at it this time. Yeah, that'd be good.
So what if, hear me out here, Ada was actually a warehouse employee, and she's just trying to take inventory, and coincidentally things just explode after she's
Well, that would make my work night a lot more interesting.
It also wouldn't be that much different than a typical day at Amazon, so, you know.
No, although we did have an amusing situation that arose while, like, maintenance was dusting, and there was so much dust on one of the conveyors it set off the smoke alarms. Yeah, that happened.
Jesus Christ, how much dust needs to be on that thing to set off the
Hey,
smoke
I'm not
alarm?
complaining. I get to sit outside with a book for an hour. So,
Free break!
yeah, that was essentially what it was.
Basically.
Yeah,
Did you get paid?
Yeah, we were all on the clock. They don't take you off the clock for emergencies. Yeah.
If it's not the employee's fault, they can't,
Dock ya.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised sometimes.
Well, Amazon is pretty good about that. Like, they even paid us for a whole day that the building shut down because of the weather.
Again, that's not the employee's
Yeah.
fault, so
Yeah.
they can't really punish you for that.
How dare you have it rain?
Well, I'm doing better this time because I actually remember what I'm supposed to do. And I think I got some sleep between recordings, too, so my aim isn't quite as bad as it was last time I went through this.
You found time to sleep in this kind of apocalyptic setting? Good on you.
Well, you know, it boosts your survival rate if you're well enough rested to think in a crisis.
All right, assuming we're a little more realistic and save rooms weren't a thing, where would you crash in a zombie apocalypse?
Probably in
Closet or something.
Probably in the rooms that are the save rooms, because they usually have like a bunk or something in them. Like, there's a bunk room in the in the first save room of the B scenario, actually, and the room that you find Rebecca in Resident Evil 1, the original Resident Evil 1, rather, had a bunk in it. It was actually like like a little mini nurse's office with some medicine on a shelf.
Well, I see the lack of save rooms because save rooms have that magical zombie repellent. But if you were in a real life #real life zombie apocalypse setting, would you? You said you would crash in a closet.
This brings me back to the books, and I know like our listeners really love it when I go on tangents related to the books, but that was basically what Rebecca was doing in the book. She barricaded the door and was crashing on the cot and sprayed Chris in the face with goddamn bug spray when he tried getting in.
I'd climb a tree. Because assuming these are standard
Ryan,
Resident Evil zombies, they wouldn't be
Ted,
able to climb a tree.
Ted, you're not
What?
describing Resident Evil, you're describing Jurassic Park.
Well, I do that too.
I mean, to be fair, there's not too much a difference between the two as far as escape rooms and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, they
feel
both,
when you're just casually punched in the face by Mr. X.
I mean, they both end in basically the same way. Our heroes riding away on a helicopter into the sunset, and the horror-infested place they were just escaping blowing up.
Sadly, no bazookas in Jurassic Park.
Oh no! In the book, they blow that island to smithereens. The military bombs it.
Big bazooka.
Yeah, the dinosaurs weren't coming back from that in the books. That's why the whole Site B thing had to happen for there to be a sequel at all. It's funny, the movies left the sequel idea deliberately on the table with that like the little shaving cream can thing, like that dramatic shot of it being covered in mud. That was Steven Spielberg deliberately leaving a sequel hook, which did not get hooked onto by anything until Jurassic Park the game on like PS3 and stuff. So
That was really odd bait.
Yeah. Jurassic Park the game is weird. I want to play it one of these days. I mean, I hear it's kind of mediocre, but it's like just an adventure game set on Jurassic Park with a bunch of characters that were doing stuff behind the scenes. So like,
Does it involve Alan Grant jumping like 30 feet in the air?
no. So like,
Is his jump speed affected by how fast?
so
he
like
moves?
apparently Biosyn sent someone in to retrieve
Nobody's gonna get that job.
the embryos, and some stuff happens after that. I don't know the first thing about that game's plot, but I want to get a copy of it. But last time I checked the price, it was kind of fucking expensive. So, there are far fewer good Jurassic Park games than you would think there are.
Honestly, it doesn't surprise me because I don't really picture Jurassic Park as a really game-y franchise.
Okay,
I mean, yeah,
the
there's
developers,
dinosaurs in it.
the
but that
developers of
doesn't-
Jurassic Park Rampage Edition on Genesis want to have a word with you. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the only one I ever hear anybody talk about.
There's
is the
also
Jurassic Park
like
Genesis game.
this quasi sequel game on I think the SNES, which is another big high octane action game with a stipulation that you're technically supposed to be saving the dinosaurs. So the only ones you're allowed to kill are like the really dangerous ones, like the raptors and stuff. But apparently that one's really good too, and it also has these cutscenes that, in terms of art style, look like they belong in a Zelda CDI game, but the story is apparently quite good for that kind of game anyway. So it's interesting. But like the two best Jurassic Park games are both park simulators. So
As you would kind of expect, considering the topic.
yeah.
You see, Jurassic World was built by the people who played Roller Coaster Tycoon and then just made the Death Trap roller coasters.
You're not entirely wrong.
Velociraptors just behind the console.
Now you know
It was you all along.
the funny thing is Jurassic World would have kept on rolling along really smoothly if they hadn't made the goddamn Indominus Rex. Because there was like nothing going wrong.
It's not even the
elsewhere.
Indominus Rex. It's just that they're all. It's not so much the Indominus Rex, it's that they're all really stupid about it.
Yeah, but you know, they were also really stupid about the Indominus Rex itself, and that was the crux of the issue, isn't it? Anyway, this is
Hadn't
a.
they already made a second, like a genetically modified dinosaur by that point, though?
No,
No.
I don't think
Not that I
not
remember.
canon. In any case, this is a kind of an annoying puzzle.
Death Trap.
Yeah, it's a death trap. Okay, so you gotta
I want to play a game. Dun dun dun.
you gotta
Lucas,
find
You're not even supposed to be here yet.
you gotta find the correct things to activate and activate them all in order to get those three panels above the door going. It's actually not that hard a puzzle unless you panic and do things out of order like I did at the end of last part. But basically, you get the power going to all three of the power panels above the door, and then overload each power panel in turn. Just don't forget to overload them before you move on to the next one in the sequence, or you're gonna burn to death. But it's
Fun.
not complicated at all. I've already solved it.
There's literally so much dust in this cabinet.
Thanks
that it
for the
ignited.
tan, Annette. I was still wearing my dress though. That tan line is gonna be terrible.
Visitor clearance confirmed. Your ID is authorized until.
No. So what you do is that you go to the clothing apparel store, and you order a piece of clothing that's the inverse of the dress you're wearing now.
So nothing but like stockings
So
and
it's
like
nothing
long
but stockings
gloves.
and leggings. It's gonna be really awkward and you're gonna be bare
Now,
for a little
if
bit.
it's-
But if you want that even
If
tan,
it's the inverse, then all I'd be wearing is a hat, arm coverings, and something that covers my back, I think.
no.
I'm
Well, the top half of your back.
Yeah, in a really weird pattern that leaves.
Yeah. Hey, you want that even tanning? You're gonna deal with it.
Or you could just not wear clothes at all.
I don't think Ada goes to nudity beaches.
There's tanning salons, you know. Yeah.
The coward's option.
Yeah.
You know, most of the political reasons you would have for having a tan is to show that you can pay for a tan. So,
Or you just work outside.
That too.
Yeah, but in that case, you'll have the tan lines anyway, so, you know.
Game is over. You lost.
I like how they removed the goddamn, bridge set piece from the gameplay, but it's such an iconic set piece that they had to work it in somewhere, so they worked it into a cutscene instead.
What happened on the bridge in the original game?
No, it's just an annoying set piece that you have to turn a valve to move so that you can go through the control room area in the sewers. Like, in this version of the game, you activate the bridge exactly one time, and then it's out of your hair. But here they just have this whole, like, scene on top of the bridge where Ada gets almost killed by a giant dumpster. And then lands in here and, well... Yeah,
Well, it made... That stick made a surprisingly large hole in her leggings.
Come on,
for
Ada...
Just being
Don't worry.
that stick.
If you think that's bad, Ada, wait about 3 hours from now.
Ada, come on.
To be having a much longer fall.
Come on, just... Ada, walk it off, like Lara. Lara walked
Yeah.
it off. In fact,
Stuff some green herbs in your face, and you'll feel better.
at the beginning of the Tomb Raider reboot is ridiculous, with Lara taking so much damage and just sort of soldiering through.
Getting this shit kicked
yeah,
out of her.
it's like
I've heard it described as torture porn. More than
Yeah,
once.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. They're trying. They pile on so much pain and suffering into that first half hour, so that they can really show you how much of a survivor Lara Croft is. And I'm like, hey guys, this would have been like tons more effective if it were like spread out over several hours of play, rather than all at the beginning. And then
Honestly, even if you take like one decently sized blow to the head, you're pretty much out of commission for, hours,
Ada had,
to days,
like-
to maybe even weeks.
Ada had like a stick of metal, like the one Lara Croft. Ada was impaled through the leg here. I think Lara had something like that stuck in her gut, like off to the side, where you could reasonably expect it to be non-fatal, but you're probably not going to walk it off.
You know, where
If
you
anything,
like
Ada has it
puncture a
worse 'cause there's a
kidney
major-
or something, you know.
Yeah. No, but if anything, between the two, I would say Ada has the riskiest because there's a major artery.
Also, she's in the
thigh.
sewers, so
Oh, yeah, infection.
Oh, yeah.
infection, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's gonna.
The blood will attract the sewer gators.
That too, probably.
Or the zombies, you know.
No, the zombies would be attracted no matter what. They don't care what they smell. They just know that they can eat it. And if they can eat it, they're all on board. Huh.
All right, so we need now to discuss the best thing about Remake 2. The bandages are actually sensibly placed this time on Leon's
Not
body.
if you have the
No.
correct DLC.
Yeah. No, no. Bandages over his uniform. No excuses.
Of course, the fade to black now involves Ada actually undressing Leon to put the bandages on, and then very carefully putting his police armor back. So,
Which just isn't as fun, you know.
no,
It's really not.
it's it's something that I find amusing considering the chemistry between them, which actually exists for a change.
Hold on, I don't think the outfit was removed at all because why rip off the left sleeve?
I don't know. That's a good point. I mean, I know he got shot in the shoulder originally,
Yeah,
so where was he
think.
shot? Where was he shot in this version?
Somewhere between the left index finger and his torso.
yeah, which means the bandages are not doing anything at all.
Maybe we should just.
But
pour
no,
some
I think
healing juice
it
on
was
his hand.
I think it was the left shoulder. Yeah, I think it was the left shoulder. Otherwise,
Hopefully nowhere where the big muscle density, or else he wouldn't be able to lift himself up much for a while.
Here's the thing. He also lost his armor on the other arm too. That's interesting. Like, why would she take that off?
sell it.
You know, now that
Welcome, stranger.
Actually,
you know, now that I'm thinking about it, with his wounds, even though they are bandaged, like Leon's gonna need an IV with tetanus medicine in it after this, considering how much crap's gonna be in his system after this.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the government comes with a government-issued tetanus IVs.
yeah, I mean. Well, I mean, what happens to Leon after this is, Claire goes off to find her brother, and leave Sherry with Leon for a while. And the government comes for Sherry, and Leon
You're so cool.
Leon cuts a deal with the government to give them his service as an agent in exchange for Sherry's safety.
Oh wait, so they weren't just child services? They like wanted her for like.
They wanted her because she had like G-virus gunk in her, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
I thought that they were just like, okay, we
The
can't
G
have.
stands for gunk.
This actually comes from like the Resident Evil 3 epilogues, which you like unlock through certain conditions while playing that game. So
Also, it's for the details. I think what was it, the Wesker Files?
Wesker Files
For
had
Code
some
Veronica?
stuff in it, but some of it's not canon anymore because the Wesker Files were hinting at an alternate Resident Evil 5 plot where Wesker had Sherry. There's a
And Sherry's
reason
not in that
Jill
game at
was
all.
blonde, and it was because she was originally not supposed to be Jill. But yeah.
She just really wanted that Britney Spears look.
But yeah, in like the early Wesker file thing, Wesker had Sherry. Was the deal with that? Instead, Sherry got away from that and became an agent herself. Also,
And then Leon's like, well, then what the fuck did I do all this for?
yeah.
I mean, don't sell yourself short, Leon. You're still pretty much indestructible from this point forward.
Yeah, that's not the point, though.
But imagine my surprise when I looked up the Resident Evil 3 epilogues and found that Resident Evil 4 did not pull Leon being a secret agent out of its ass. That it was actually established well before the series changed. Yeah. I'll admit I was
Very observant of you,
I was
Leon,
surprised.
to be a detective.
Okay, so Leon has to come into the sewers from a much more annoying direction than Claire did. But we're finally back in the main sewer area where we can go in circles until we find what we need.
Yeah, this is probably my least favorite area of the game, all things considered.
It's not as strong as the police station, but I still prefer this to the sewers in the original game, which basically were...
What
were
sewers?
They were basically just a series of hallways you pass through on your way to the lab. They fleshed the sewers out quite a lot, and I'm glad they did.
Can we maybe use a different phrase instead of talking about flesh that's in the sewers?
Well, why? But that's exactly what we're looking at, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't. I'm trying not to because, it's gross.
Need to really absorb all the intricate juices.
No, you really don't, actually.
I'm getting some use out of Matilda here.
The shoulder looks like a
what's
raspberry.
the Great Mighty Pooh doing in here? Oh, wait, no. That's more of a, like, Stranger Things kind of thing, now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I would say Stranger Things is probably a more apt comparison.
Although I still haven't actually watched that.
Only watched the first season, so I haven't watched second and third.
Is it good?
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Just kind of forgot about it, though.
Jesus, when you're fighting this thing with a pistol, it takes a lot of ammo.
So is this a normal enemy, or is it a boss of some sort?
Yes.
It's a normalish enemy.
It was originally a boss in the original
Yeah.
game, but now they multiplied it and made it like a mini moog.
Yeah, in the A scenario, whichever character that you encounter toward the end of the station, be it Brian Irons or the reporter, would get attacked by Birkin in whatever scenario you're playing. But in the A scenario, Birkin would implant them with an embryo, and that embryo would like chest burst out of the monster alien style, and then it would become this thing, and you confront it at the station exit.
And so in this game, it's just a random mook.
It's a really big regular enemy in the sewers, yeah. And it's more of a threat as a regular enemy than it ever was as a boss, I'll say that.
Well, yeah, because it's just the more intricate design, the sheer volume of them.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird. They place them in ways you can technically avoid them, but it's really not convenient to.
It's safer to do if you have a held
What's your
item. Like if you got a knife or a grenade, then I would say it's better just to run past them. And if you get grabbed, then do the maneuver and then just keep
Yeah, that's
running.
pretty much what you're supposed to do to them in like Fourth Survivor and all. Just
Yeah.
bum rush them, and if they catch you, stuff a grenade in its mouth.
Yeah, assuming you're not using the electric gun, you end up saving a lot of ammo just ignoring them.
But I like to kill them because that's just my style in horror games. I'm playing a stealth game,
okay.
I'll go by without killing everything because that is a mark of skill. And when I'm playing a horror game where you're not supposed to fight things, fucking kill everything.
What are you, my mom?
Heather Mason.
Stealth is optional in this mission.
Heather Mason Shadow Warrior Unleashed. That was my Silent Hill 3 playthrough, just killing everything with the katana. I mean, it wasn't any different than my Silent Hill 2 playthrough, in that I killed everything with melee weapons as well, but in Silent Hill 3 it was actually fun. So,
See, I thought if you're going to kill anything in Silent Hill 3, it'd be with the sexy beam.
Well, you don't get the sexy beam until you beat the game, so...
Repeated playthroughs.
That's a...
Leon, you have stink everywhere.
I like how the map is conveniently taped up at two corners, and the other two corners just, like, obligingly stay close to the wall instead of flopping down, like paper should. Physics, what are those? Well, I suppose we don't have to worry about physics in this universe, because Leon's hair never gets in his eyes. That's a thing that's always mesmerized me, is how Leon's hair never, like, moves out of place, even when he's upside down. There are a lot of times when he's upside down in Resident Evil 4.
Also, you managed to remove that map without disrupting the tape.
Yeah.
So this isn't tape, it's just orange stripes painted above the map.
Beta player.
Now, Claire...
Oh, wait, is this actually a Betamax?
Maybe. I don't know what a Betamax is.
Exactly.
Now,
I could reference you to that one scene in Cowboy Bebop, but
Yeah.
that's
Claire's
forever.
reactions to these tapes are variations of, okay, that was interesting, in that kind of grossed out voice. Leon actually reacts with, like, insights on what the videos mean, like, the rats must have spread the virus. Some people make the confused assessment that the virus infecting the zombies is the G virus. It's not. There were just a lot of T virus vials in that case with the G virus, and it was the T virus vials that broke on the ground and got spread to the rats and then to the city.
Oops.
The G virus sample is purple, not green. So, yeah. I like how much more intelligently the goddamn lab is built in Resident Evil 2 Remake, though, because the moment you take the G-Virus sample out without permission, the self-destruct sequence just automatically activates, and it's like, yeah, we don't care about our employees. You're about to get our top-secret virus? We're going to blow the whole thing to the sky.
I would say it was a counter-safe to make sure people, the virus wouldn't get out and infect people, but we all know Umbrella's not that altruistic.
Well, the
Or smart.
The self-destruct sequence in this case didn't activate when Birkin took the samples out himself because he had permission. Oops. Yeah, you might want to vet your employees a little better, Umbrella.
What
that
now?
would take a human resources department, and budget for that existed never. So,
What are you
Yeah.
talking about? Multi-billion-dollar corporations give all of their budget to human resources so that they don't have to give their budget to their employees.
He's not wrong.
okay, but think about this. If they give no budget to their employees and no budget to HR, then they can get yacht number 76.
He's also not wrong.
What is the appeal of yachts, anyway?
They're a
It's a
boat
sh-
you
it-
can
it-
party on, man. They're awesome.
It's also to show off more than anything.
Yeah, that too.
I don't get I don't get the concept of partying on boats or going on cruise expeditions with like fancy dinners and stuff. I mean, you're basically just in a hotel at that point. And a hotel would be
But
cheap.
but you're out. But you're
Yeah,
but
but
you're
it's
above
not,
the
but it's a-
water.
But it's a boat.
Yeah.
Well, at least with the cruise line, you're also like going to different places. Like most cruise lines will have like will stop on an island of some sort, and then you get to stay a day or two on the island before you go on to, be on the
Someplace else.
boat. And the scenery, I suppose, is also a little bit better if you
Uh,
like the water.
At that point, just travel to the island and stay there longer.
Or you could just get a houseboat. It's a house. That's also a boat. And if you hate your neighbors, you can just float away.
How about the bloated float in an Elder Scrolls Oblivion, which was an inn that was also a boat? I recommend staying
Too
there at the
expensive.
earliest opportunity if you play that game, by the way. You will not regret it.
What, the
Okay, you
breakfast
see, that
commodity
laugh
just to
makes
die
me
for?
want to not do that now.
Okay, if you don't mind a spoiler, and I doubt anyone in this call is going to play Oblivion anytime soon, the Elder Scrolls for Oblivion had a much more organic way of side quests popping up than Skyrim did. Mostly you would just bumble into them through natural play, and one of the things that would happen is the first time you stayed at the bloated float, the inn/boat would get hijacked by burglars. So you'd be marooned at sea on this tiny-ass inn boat, and you'd have to kill the burglars and get the ship back to land. And your reward for this is basically the leader of the burglary ring has a magic sword, and you get to keep it when you kill them. So
That's actually pretty cool.
yeah. I say that's a reward, but magic swords and Elder Scrolls have ridiculously low charge times. So basically, what you're getting out of it is a slightly better sword that has a magical effect that's going to go away if you use it too much. So it's good for a pinch, I suppose. But I always
Yeah, but like the concept is cool, though. I will say I do kind of like that kind of thing.
well, a lot of older Western RPGs had this better way of handling side quest progression, and we got a stock for our shotgun, so now it looks actually really good. I was terrified.
We got a shotter gun.
Hey, Dick, I was laying down. You're an asshole.
Yeah, this is one of those zombies you probably should go out of your way to kill because he's always lurking around the safe room.
I just wanted to test out my fully upgraded shotgun.
Well, there's that too. Yes.
In any case, old Western RPGs had a better way of handling side quest progression than a lot of newer games do. Where instead of just talking to people and asking where the side quests are, a lot of the side quests will pop up as you go. And you sort of wouldn't have a viable option for avoiding them once you saw them, because they sort of elbowed their way into your life. But isn't that kind of the way these things happen in real life? Something gets in your way and you either say no to it and don't bother, or you go along with it because you're a decent human being.
Yeah, it doesn't just exist for you to do whenever you feel like it 20 hours from now.
Yeah.
To fill out your achievement list.
Yeah.
What? Oh.
Yeah, that's how life works.